Hey, what's going on, developers and creators out there? My name's Erickson, a contributor at soul2.com. Today I'll show you how to upgrade a project that was created in old version of Vivado to a newer version of Vivado. In my case, I have created a project in Vivado version 2019.2, and I'll be upgrading this project to Vivado version 2020.2. I have them side by side here. But even before I get to it, let me quickly explain or show what project I'll be upgrading. It's called Phase 5 System Data Transfer Test, and it was tested on a Xilinx system on a chip FPGA. In the project, the gist of the project is pretty much you have in the PL or in the FPGA fabric, you have a DDS which serves as a signal generator, being sampled by a custom RTL module called sampler. And that sample data is stored into a FIFO that when it reaches a predetermined threshold, you have a FIFO full interrupt generated custom IP that interrupts the CPU, and the CPU configures a DMA in the PL logic of the FPGA to store that data, to transfer the data to the DDR. So you have a data flow that starts with the DDS sample all the way to DDR memory. So this is a phase in a multiple phase design. It's the preview. For example, if we go back to the previous phase where you have phase 4, it's called DDS frequency controller custom IP design. This phase pretty much designs a custom IP that allows you to change the output frequency of the DDS, which is the signal generated in this design from the CPU. So from a CPU application, you can change the DDS output frequency using a custom IP. And if we, for example, go back to further down to other phases, you have phase 3, which pretty much creates more blocks that are being tested or developed to build up to phase 5. And there's also a phase 6. But today we'll be looking at phase 5. And if you're interested in exploring or integrating this project into your own system, I'll provide the link. I'll provide the link in the description below, so you can come to this page, request the design files, and explore. So let's get to the goal of this video. So the design files for this project it looks like this. The folder set looks like this. If you requested design files, you should have a folder set that looks like this. Pretty much you have a common docs, FIOMPL phase 5, and MATLAB. We're not going to be looking at MATLAB. MATLAB pretty much has the script files there, no checks for accuracy of the transferred data. You have a doc that contains documentation of that the project is built. You also have common that is used by multiple other projects. And we're gonna jump into the FIOMPL phase 5. And in this folder, you have many other folders that serves its function. It's a structure that I've been working on for a while. Got it from other people that I know that has been working with it, and it works pretty well. But we're not gonna get into all of it, and if any of them comes up later on, we'll talk about it. So for now, we're just gonna jump into the scripts folder, and we have two primary folders file that we'll be working on. And I should also mention this is a script based project, so we're going to be primarily upgrading script files and IPs that needs to be upgraded. So the build.tcl pretty much creates the Vivado project, configures the board setting, and also creates a block diagram by calling phase 5 bd.tcl. And from there we can jump into the build.tcl and see how it has all the calls that creates a Vivado, creates the project for us. It's all automated, and there's a script file. And I'm interested in this section here that says run alt selection. And I should also mention that this script file is capable of running synthesis, running implementation, and also generating bitstream if we set run all to yes. So we're gonna set it to no because we don't want to go that far down. We just want to create the Vivado project, set the board settings, create the block diagram, and stop there. So let's save this script file, set and run all to no, and let's close that out. And the first thing that you will do is go into the version that you created your project in. So in my case, this the Vivado 2019.2, and we're going to be calling several TCL line. We're going to be using the TCL console to call several lines. We're going to be sourcing the build.tcl to start our project. So let's jump into the folder where we want to work in, which is this path right here. So I usually copy and paste it here, but this is not correct since it was from. And I should also mention that this project is a I copied and pasted the original project into this folder. I want to mess with the copy instead of the original version. Instead of, if I screw up, I have something to I have a backup to rely on. So let's change this to this path where we want to work in. Let's call this projects test 2 FIR PL phase 5 and scripts. Okay, so this will do it. We're just gonna copy and paste. So make sure you know what directory you're in. That's not right. So I'm just gonna, the first few lines, it backs up a few folder and then it heads over to this folder location we want to work in. So if I press enter, now my TCL console is now referencing to this folder location. So the first thing I will do is we'll source the build.tcl. So let's source. Whoop, spelled that wrong. Again, let's source build.tcl. So let's call it out. So while it's doing that, let me quickly mention that the build.tcl script file will call out the project to be created under. If we back out from the script folders if back up one folder, we'll see that we have work directory. So all this project will be created in this folder. So the project that is being created as of now is being created in work directory folder. So let's back out. Let's stay in scripts folder. Let's go back to the project. It has completed creating our project. And also I was expecting something like this. The reason why this window is popping up is because I haven't specified my top module. It's asking me if I want to, specify my top module, pick one, or let it automatically pick one. We don't care about it as of now, so we're just gonna close it out. Let's maximize the window, and that's oh yeah, that window will pop up several times, but we just keep on getting rid of it. Let's regenerate layout. You can see you have a block diagram as I shown you earlier. So this is the same block diagram as this. The block design is the same as this block diagram here. So after we create our project in the old version of Vivado, we're just going to close that out. So we no longer need it. So we're going to close that out. And then we're going to go back to our folder location and go back to our work directory and look at this XPR file. So first thing that you have to do before you even open that project again, before you get into the next step, is make sure your default project or default Vivado is the newer version of Vivado. So pretty much if I open this folder, this file, if I double click on this file, my project will open the new version of Vivado 2020.2, or you can just come into this new version of Vivado, and open your project from here. So I'll do it the other way, which means I'll double click on this project, the .xpr file. So I just double clicked on design1.xpr file. You can see that my project is open up in Vivado version 2020.2, and it will walk us through the upgrade process. So the first window that comes up tells us, okay, this project was created in an old version of Vivado. Back up your stuff. What do you want to do next? So we want to automatically upgrade to the current version. Press OK. Let's put this in the center this so we can see clear. Okay. All right. All right, we'll talk about the rest later on. First thing that we'll do is report IP status. So this is a window that comes up asking us know some of the IPs are out of date. Please see IP status so we can start upgrading our IPs. So let's do that. Click report IP status, get rid of this, and get rid of this is board's configuration that is called by the TCL, but I did not reconfigure the new Vivado version to have the details of the board that I'm using, so I'll do this later. This is a problem that will not pop up in every case, but in my case it did, because I did not include the folder information, the board information in this new Vivado. So if we maximize that window and look at the IP status, we can see that several IPs are out of date and some of them are up to date. And what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade selected IPs. So click on upgrade selected IPs. It asks you would I like to proceed. Press OK. Okay, IP upgrade complete. Would I like to run any of these? Nope, get rid of all this. We don't want to do this now. We just get rid of that as well. And let's generate layout. You can see that your project is now created in a new version of Vivado and no other issues or problems came up. So the next thing we'll do is we'll come to the TCL console. So we'll jump into the TCL console and call a few lines, or maybe a single line that will create a TCL file for our block diagram in the new version of Vivado. Let's center this window so you can see what I'll be calling. So we're gonna call this line right here, right, BD TCL, and this is pretty much saying, you know, create a TCL file for the block diagram in this new design, and we'll call it phase 5 upgrade, and we'll press enter. And if we jump into our folder location, you can see the new recently created TCL file for a new Vivado, for the new Vivado version. We're gonna drag that into the script folder. Let's drag this new file into the scripts folder, and then the first thing I will do, this is my case, it's specific, it's not for everybody, is that I've customized my phase 5 BD.tcl. So it's the auto generator. I added a few sections in this file that I can, you know, play with it later on. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll copy. This is one of the sections that I have added in. So just want to make sure I don't lose it. It wasn't included in the new version of Vivado generated a script file. So I'll add it in so you can see that one's right under that section, the block of comment. Save that. There's another section that I added in as well. It's a section that import required files. So we're gonna copy it over to the other file before we get rid of this one. So we're gonna copy. It's under return 1. So go under return 1. We're going to paste, and then we're gonna save this one. Get rid of, you can close both files. So we're back here. So this is our new file. This is the old one. We're gonna rename this one to BD/old, and then we're gonna rename this one to BD. And there you go. That means that we have a block diagram that will be called from the new version of Vivado. And before you even do that, let's open the build.tcl. There's a section here that checks for the version of Vivado that it's being called in. So we want to get rid of that section, and maybe we'll add it in later on. So we don't want to do that. So we'll say, I'll add a comment here that says add later. Let's save that. Okay, let's close. So this is the project that we just created in the new version of Vivado. Let's close that out. Let's come back to our work directory, and then we're gonna delete this. We don't have to, because once I call the project the new version of Vivado, this file, all these files will be overwritten. So you don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna do it to show you that I'm getting rid of everything, and I'll recreate the project again. So let's open Vivado 2020 point. So open Vivado 2020.2, and what we'll do is we'll call this script file again. Oh, did I not? Oh man, I did not change this. Let's change this to the new location, and that looks good. So that's our right path. Let's copy that over. You can also have your Vivado open in your desired file folder location, path location, but I haven't done that yet because I have Vivado open up in so many different paths that I just do this every time. Okay, that's not right. I knew that was gonna come up, but let's fix it. So we have projects. Okay, the spelled projects around there. Projects test 2. Let's try this one again. And okay, that works. And then we're going to be sourcing build GCL. So this is a build GCL. It's going to be calling the new version of our BD, phase 5 BD block design. So it's source build.gcl. We'll press enter. So it's run, and we'll find out if we messed up at any point. Oh, okay, so it did not like the board file because I did not I know the problem that came up is because I did not include the board part in the new version of Vivado. So we can quickly fix that. I know how to get rid of that problem, so let's do that quickly. This is going to actually make my video a little bit longer than I expected, but let's quickly do that. So if I go to the to the board, to my old version of Vivado, and I go to so Vivado 2019.2 data, and then board files. And if I go to, let's see if I can find my board. This right here was added by me. Some of them, actually all of them was it was installed by default when you download your the Vivado version, but this one was added by me because this is the board that I'm using. Having that under your board files for the Vivado version, it's a nice feature to have. And then we're gonna go to the other Vivado, the newer version, which is 2020.2. We're gonna go to boards, data, board files, and then we're just gonna paste it in there, and that's golden. So I get rid of that window, and then we're just gonna, let's close this out, close project. Okay, I hope we're still there. Yeah, we're still there. Let's source build.gcl, and hopefully we'll get it this time. Oh, nope, still nothing. Okay, maybe it's the Vivado that we just closed Vivado. Maybe this Vivado that I have, maybe it hasn't updated. Yeah, let's close this Vivado and let's open it again. So we're gonna open the newer version of Vivado again, and then we're probably gonna have to head over to our folder location again. And then let's so right path, and then we're gonna source build. I hope this is centered. Build.gcl, and we are about to be golden, and we're about to be golden, people. Nope, nothing has come up yet. And look at that. All right, so I think we're golden now. So this is pretty much your old project running in a new version of Vivado. Sweet. And that window will pop up in about any time. Okay, go ahead. No, oh, there it is. So this is same question. Select your top module. At this time, you might want to do it because the next step is to test your project. Let's generate layout quickly. So that means you're gonna have to generate bitstream, which means you're gonna have to run synthesis, run implementation, and test your project. You might want to make sure any upgraded IPs is functioning correctly. If you have any critical blocks that needs a special attention, make sure it's all aligned with where you expect, so you don't have any surprises coming up later. But people, this is it. Thanks for watching. I hope this kind of helped, and it was a bit longer than I expected, but stay tuned and I have more coming up.